Escape, bringing you another video, giving you guys the real truth about trading. Okay, if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to learn about day trading. You're curious on improving yourself. You already are a day trader, but want to, become a better trader, a greater trader. This video, I'm gonna cover everything you need to know about trading. It's very easy. Okay, I want to make it as digestible as possible. Before we get started, I want you to hit the subscribe button. I want you to ask any questions, towards the end of the video. We're giving you guys the reality about trading, what to expect, giving you guys some free value, giving you guys all the tools you need to become successful. So a little bit about myself, what got me into trading, and why I love trading. When it came down to it, I love trading because one thing, it's something that you master, and once you master it, you unlock a way to make income, sustainable from anywhere in the world. So I like it for the freedom. You don't rely on the boss. You become self-sufficient. You're able to learn the skill that many people would like to have, but they don't haven't unlocked it yet. That's how I look at it. It's like a video game. You have to unlock it. So most people, when they get into day trading, they want to get instant gratification because the internet has taught us, the opposite of reality. When you look at the internet and social media, you see a lot of people flexing. You see a lot of people, giving you guys false hope. And the reality when it comes to trading, are you gonna, buy the Kool-Aid, or are you gonna, listen to people out here, trying to be genuine and give you guys the real truth about trading? When it comes down to it, trading is a skill you learn, slowly but surely wins the race here. And if you apply yourself, if you apply everything I say in this video, you're gonna be good to go. All I could say is lock in, listen to winners, listen to people who are here consistently, people that showing up consistently, and you're gonna make it. That's all I could say. You're gonna make it. I want to, explain to you a bit of my strategy of day trading. My strategy of day trading is very simple. We overall have a bias. Every single day we come up with a bias. Okay, when it comes down to it, we look at what day of the week it is. What time is it during the week? Is there any, events happening? Is the Federal Reserve meeting today? Is it a day of, high impact news? When we look at it as far as, crypto traders or day traders or, stock traders, you want volume, you want news, you want, movement in the charts. If there's no movement in the charts, there's no opportunity to trade in. You want these up and down swings. So when you're here, wanting to day trade, what you're doing, you're looking at this and trying to identify where price action is going and where you could enter to profit in. Okay, many people want to enter trades. Okay, if you're curious in trading, you're ahead of the game because you actually want to learn. There's people out here that wanna, make money, but they don't even know, or doesn't even cross their mind to get into trading. So you are already ahead of the game. Okay, next, when you're trading, you have to remove, all distractions. If you look at my chart is very clean. This is BIMX. Okay, this is BIMX. Okay, it's very easy. This is something that I use to trade Bitcoin specifically and other cryptocurrencies as well. But this is a free chart. Okay, you're able to use this, and this is all I use to trade Bitcoin. So if you're curious, I have a video on how to set it up. Okay, and if you're curious, you can send me a DM on my Telegram. Send me a DM, comment below. I'll send you the link to that video on how to set up my chart. Overall, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. Let me switch it to light mode so you can get a better view. So aside from that, my guys, what you have to figure out is where's direction of this today. Okay, we're trading the moment. We're not trading, a week ahead, a month ahead. We're trading today because these movements happen now. So for that reason, my strategy is very simple. It's 50x, 60x leverage. Okay, whatever exchange you're using. For example, we have Margex here. Margex is a great exchange. Link in the bio. You could sign up, no KYC. You're able to become limitless with an exchange like this. Okay, aside from that, I'll be quite frankly with you, very truthful. It doesn't matter what exchange I use, if it's Margex, if it's Fibit, if it's BitTunex, whatever it is, I don't use their chart to indicate, when to enter. I only use the BitMEX chart because BitMEX is something I've been trained on for years and years. And that's why I specifically, tailor myself to trading on BitMEX. So, art, what we're doing, we're trying to determine direction. Many people have different opinions, okay? So when you're listening to how I teach trading, you're gonna see that it's very different than most people. Because in all reality, leverage trading is dangerous if you don't have the right information, if you don't have, a clear strategy and proper risk management. Just like any other type of investing, any type of other, trading, anything else, everything is risky. Okay, so I want you to get that out of your head that that life isn't risky. You're supposed to risk it for the biscuit, and that's my opinion, not financial advice. But in reality, if you're trying to make, some tons of sums of money that's gonna replace your 9 to 5, that's gonna replace your income, okay, you have to take risks. As simple as that. Look at every single great inventor, look at every single great entrepreneur, every single great, business owner. They're taking risks. Every single great person that has some type of name, that has weight, some type of name that has recognition, and they've all taken risk. You look at Elon Musk, look at all these great people, they all taking risk. So if you're coming to day trading, okay, and if you're not willing to take risks, and if you're not willing to educate yourself, you're in the wrong place, my guys. You're better off, starting another type of business that has quote unquote less risk. But if you look at it, every single business has a risk to it. So I'm just keeping it real. So going forward, I want to be very clear with you in that way. Okay. There's ways to minimize it. Okay. One way to minimize it is by learning from other people. Okay. That's simple as that. You go to school, you go to university to learn from professors about what career you're trying to learn from, Okay, you come here. I offer, with my YouTube videos as much free value. So on top of that, I do offer, more in-depth training, more in-depth mentorship, more in-depth coaching for my students that want to do one-on-ones, that want to do a consultation, who want, ask questions, who want ongoing support. I do offer that as well. But in reality, if you listen to my YouTube videos, if you listen to all the stuff I put in all social medias, you're gonna be good to go, my guys. And I also have a free Telegram in the bio. Okay, so when it comes down to trading, it's very simple. You have to determine direction. Is it going up or down for that day or for that time period, for that trading session? What is the overall direction? On top of that, do you see an entry that you're able to enter? Do you see a proper entry? Once you determine direction and perfect your entries, the final thing is that you have to take profits. So my strategy is very simple. We enter at 5060x here in Margex. You sign up, email password, you're in. 5060x, okay, 5060x. You press confirm, boom. Okay, we entered market. We don't enter with limit. We enter only a market because we snipe our trades here. And if you're seeing, I'm trading on a laptop. Again, I use my mobile phone. Margex offers a mobile app, and I use that only to close trades. That's it. I want you to get trained on a laptop. Trust me. I've been there on the mobile phone. I've lost my trades. I did my due diligence. I'm here just to try to help you. And if anybody else wants you to trade on a mobile phone and they're not telling you the truth, at least I'm trying to tell you the truth. Trade on laptop. Trade here properly. You're focused. You're entering the trade here. You're trading the moment. Aside from that, do what you gotta do. Okay. If you don't have a laptop, then save some money and get you a laptop. Simple as that. In all reality, when you're here trading, you have to have some type of income that replaces, you want to replace your day job. Okay, well, you have to first, have sufficient income to play with, have sufficient, ways to make money so you could learn the skill. So there's a lot of people that want, get rich today, want to get rich tomorrow, want to get rich next month. And I'll be the one to tell you the truth. Go get you a job. I mean, while you start learning trading, go get you, 2 jobs, go get you a side hustle. do what you gotta do, break some rocks, whatever you gotta do to make your money. Okay, until you get your trading until you level up your trading. Simple as that. So we enter a market. Okay, we don't use stop loss. Get the stop loss out of your mind. You only use a stop loss if you have, if you only use a stop loss if you're wanting to give the exchange your money. It's that simple. In all reality, stop loss is you failing to determine direction and you failing to have conviction in your trade. So I don't use stop loss. We size our trades appropriately. We size our trades appropriately. Let's say I have $1,000. Okay, you want to place $100 trade. We put $100 trade. Let's say direction is clear to long. Okay, let's say direction is clear to long. We enter, boom, $100 trade, enter, boom. Okay, we do not close that trade unless it's winning, with give or take 20%, because give or take 20% profit in that trade gives you enough cushion for you to pay the fees that every single exchange charges for borrowing their money, and it gives you a profit. We do not feed to losers, and we do not close losing trades. We only close winning trades. And again, we don't overtrade. If you overtrade, you're doing something wrong. You're trading with emotions. I could be the most emotional trader, but at the end of the day, when we're here, we gotta take it serious. So I want to give you a whole, example here. Have you ever seen the movie Ratatouille? It's about a chef and a rat that they became a team. Okay, and they were able to make, some of the best food, some of the best chef food in France. So if you see this, I want you to see, this is the education. This basically, it's all you need, the whole ingredients to make ratatouille. You need all the ingredients. You can't just have, one thing and that's it. So if you want to be a great day trader, the best I could tell you is that you need to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, you need to have the right strategy, you have to have the right mentorship, you have to have the right spices, the right knowledge, okay? If you don't have the right spices and the knowledge, what's going to happen is you're going to fail. You're going to want to give up early. And you want to blame everybody but yourself. And that's not how you do this. That's not how you're going to progress. So when you look at it, okay, look at this as Scapes education. Look at this, some of my Scapes videos, YouTube videos. Look at it as some of my stories, how you can learn from it. Look at it as you putting in the work. Look at you, putting the time. Look, this is a lot of it has to do with you as well, my guys. So all this is the bigger picture. When you get into day trading, you want to implement every single spice to make everything nice. You can't just have success overnight. As simple as that. So I want you to have that mentality. I give you all the tools. I'll take you inside my Discord. Inside the Discord, I give you guys daily trade updates of what I'm doing, trading over my shoulder, giving you guys the real alpha. Telling you guys overall where I see direction is going, where I'm entering if applicable, when I'm exiting if applicable. Again, I want you to become trained like a soldier to be able to win and win and win. Raising winners. If you look at my testimonial room, people here are trading and consistently winning, becoming profitable traders in a way never imagined, without a proper strategy, without the proper mindset, without the proper mentorship. So this is my people that they decided to take, a deeper dive into trading, and we've done a consultation and I've explained to them in a deeper level on how to understand the charts and how I read the charts, because everybody reads the charts different. People use indicators. I don't use indicators. The only indicator I use is the number going up or down via screenshots. If you see this button here, if you want this, if you want the same Chrome extension, send me a DM and I'll send it to you. If you want, a breakdown, my strategy, send me a DM and I'll send it to you. Send me a DM. Teach me, G, or let me get access to the daily trade updates, G. Send me a DM, my brother G's, if you're curious in learning. So this screenshot tool I use takes a screenshot of the current price. It's very simple. Is this number going up or down? Okay, it's going to give you an idea where direction is heading towards. Currently, in my opinion, right now, direction is still forming. There's no clear direction yet. So as we wait for clear direction to form, we won't enter a trade. Again, there's no pressure in entering trades. When you enter a trade, you have to have clear conviction. Okay. And again, we trade in the moment. We trade in the moment. So in this moment, the direction is still forming. Direction is still forming in this moment. So by the time you're watching this video, direction may have changed. We might be in the 70,000s. We might be in a different price range. We trade in the moment at 50, 60x, no stop loss, entering when there's clear conditions, clear direction, raising winners is what we're doing. So again, nobody else is really going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you, look, buy my course, look, buy my this, buy my that. I want to give you guys the truth on how I became profitable, how you can become profitable. And at the end of the day, we're raising winners. So I want to show you a little bit about some of the profits I be printing here in Margex. In reality, when you're able to determine direction, $1,000 difference in Bitcoin could print you a lot of money if you're able to do it right. That's what we're training. That's what we're training you guys to do. You're able to make enough income to replace your day job if you apply yourself. If you really want to learn about day trading and take it to the next level, the DMs are open. If you have any questions, drop any comments below. I want you to ask anything because at the end of the day, it has to do with the mindset, it has to do with the strategy, it has to do with proper risk management, it has to do with having all the ingredients to become profitable. And we're here to raise winners. So in our reality, I want you to ask any questions, drop any comments below. And a little bit like about myself, I would say it took me about 2 years to become profitable. So I want you to have that mindset that it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen certainly if you apply yourself. So I want you guys to think of it like this. Okay. When you're here training, you're here, with a basketball, you're trying to become a great. Okay. You're doing your sets and your reps. You look at it like basketball. You can look at it as training in the gym. Okay. You don't, just do it once and that's it. You do it consistently. So if you are curious to learn, what I recommend in the beginning is education, via my YouTube videos, via my Discord, via my Telegram. After that, I want you to focus on, doing your reps and sets. You're doing trades with small amounts to get used to it. After you become, you see that you're able to become, making profits back to back, then you're going to want to, strictly focus on, making clear cut trades with bigger amounts so they can make sense. And at the end of the day, if you're able to make, one home run, over 10 mini home runs and lose some of them, you're better off doing one main home run. Okay, when there's clear conditions. Like right now, there's no clear conditions yet. And at the end of the day, I want to teach you guys a real way to become profitable. And the only real way is about applying yourself and learning from G's out here, such as myself, that have taken it very serious this past couple of years, have put in the time, effort, the hours. And that's the only way to become profitable, my guys. So in the Telegram below, I have opened it up to the public. You could come here to the free Telegram in the bio. You're able to then see more about my strategy. You're able to then DM me if you have any questions. And we're here to assist you. We're here to build a like-minded community of winners that want to take this seriously, to understand that the 9 to 5 is only an option, and that we're a bunch of degenerates that have the mentality that we do not fit in a society of this conformity. We want to, have that abundance mindset. And if you study how money works, the money's already printed. Your job as a trader just to get in between it. The money's already printed. So I'll leave with that note. Okay. I want you to watch the next video. We're gonna be talking about, we're gonna be doing trade recaps. We're gonna be doing, some trading videos, giving you guys more of like what I wanted to learn, when I first got into trading. And overall, give you guys the real information that you need to become successful. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope you learned a lot. Again, This is my way of trading. It's not going to be exactly the same as many other people. Did you notice I did not talk about technical analysis once? Because I do not use technical analysis. I do not use no fancy indicators. I'm not here to sell you an indicator, sell you the dream of technical analysis, because all you see is that I take screenshots to see the price difference, and you've seen it's been going up. All I do is take screenshots to determine direction. And that's just this is one of the pieces of the pie. Again, that's one of the pieces of the pie. Aside from taking screenshots, we apply the different time frames. We apply the time of the day. We apply the time of the week. We apply different, movements Bitcoin does. So I want to help as many of you as possible. And if you're curious, keep on watching these videos. We'll catch you in the next one.